Good day, everyone. Good afternoon to everyone around the world, wherever it is you are watching this this broadcast. My name is Mike Davids. I was a pastor with Omega Fire Ministries of Apostle John C. Suleman, Auchi, Edo State. I was in that ministry as a pastor for 16 years because I met Apostle John C. Suleman in 2003. I have a proof to that effect of the letter, that he sent to me July 3rd, 2003. And I left the ministry 2019, which was last year, last 2 years, March to be precise. On account of certain things, that happened, which I would want the general public to know about. But the reason why I am mainly doing this video is because my life as I speak is no longer safe. I can't sleep. Sometimes I don't even have to sleep in my house. I had to just, move away because of so many things that happening around me, threats here and there, calls from unknown numbers, threatening my life, secondly, so that the general public will be aware that should anything happen to me, Mike Davids, so that the general public will know who exactly to hold responsible. I know my family has nothing. I know I am a nobody to Apostle John C. Suleman, but I want the general public to know that should anything happen to me, just in case you no longer hear about me, I want everybody around the world, from wherever you are watching this video from, to know that it was Apostle John C. Suleman that took my life. Now, what happened was this. I got married to my wife, Pastor Faith Edeko. You can check that up on Facebook and you'll see it. Pastor Faith Edeko. That's the name she presently answers now. I got married to her, in 2008, December 6th to be precise. After we actually courted for, or we're probably in relationship. We're in relationship for about a period of 10 years because we knew each other in secondary school, and our friendship developed from there, until when we came out of school and all of that, we both, came into agreement to, to raise it, to start a home. But prior to this time, when I finished school, because I had met Apostle Suleman, and we started out. I was the first campus pastor of Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, Edo State. And when I met Apostle John C. Suleman, being that my wife also knew I was connected to him, so I established contact between the two of them so that he also would know her. And from that time, after meeting my wife, I noticed that, things were basically never the same. But although I didn't really put my mind to it, because as at then, he was somebody, I greatly esteemed, somebody that, I've come to love. And then, somebody I dear so much, and I saw as a spiritual father, because my father passed 3 months after my wedding. March 2009 was when my father died. And when I met Apostle Suleman, I was really not bothered because I felt that, I could have a father in him. But my wife had mentioned to me of one or two things, of his invitations of her to, to Benin, to Reliance Hotel. Those of you who know Benin, I don't know whether Reliance Hotel is still there. I think along Aduawa and all of that. Sometimes we will invite her over for, to pass the night with him and all of that. I really wasn't bothered because my wife was a virgin. You see, because I didn't, consider it as a child of God to have anything to do with my wife for that period of, time that we courted, because of the kind of home I wanted to build. So, and that was how it continued and on until we got married. I never, as a matter of fact, because of the way I saw him, I couldn't even imagine that because of my background from the Catholic charismatic renewal. That was where I was raised. So I couldn't imagine that, you could, if a father could have a daughter that he probably would want to, especially one that he knows that this was his son's, fiancé, that he would want to have something to do with her. So that was it. And we got married. And 2019, I was posted, 2009, I was posted to Osun State. Okay, I think 2010, I was posted to Osun State because I started out in Asaba. You can go to Asaba and find out I started out pastoring with Asaba, Omega 5 Ministries Asaba. It was myself and Pastor Gabriel who started that branch. Then from there, I was posted to Benin, Urubi, branch 2. Everybody in Omega 5 Ministries, they know me very well all around the world. They know me, Mike David. I pastored there for a while before Pastor Azeme, when I left, Pastor Azeme Azena, that was when he took over branch 2 before he became pastor of branch 1. So I was posted to Osun State. And Osun State, Omega 5 Ministries Osun State started exactly the year that former president of Nigeria, Yaradua, passed, and that was when the ministry started in Osun State. So after then, we had our first daughter, because myself and my wife were married. We got married 2008, December 6th. We had our first daughter 2009, November 24th, to be precise. That was when we had our first daughter. And between that November 24th and between that November, towards the end of 2009 into 2010, the idea for Celebration TV and Rema for Living, was being hatched and discussed, and getting it started, became part of the plan on ground. So my wife, who happened to prior to that time, who was a staff with NTA Irekmen, Apostle Suleman had to reach out to her that they would need her services, and support to build Omega Celebration TV, and of course, Rema for Living and all of that. So because of that, while we're in Osun State, she will have to, shuttle between Auchi and all of that, and back and forth. She was traveling and all of that. People who attest to all of this. All of these things I'm saying are not new to anybody in Omega 5 Ministry, especially those who were in Auchi and all of that. So that was it. And one of the days that my wife went to Auchi and came back, this was 6 months after we had our daughter, 6 months going to 7 months. She came back from Auchi to Osun State, and she called me privately. She called me into the room and said that 2 days after that, she wanted to talk to me, and that her conscience was killing her over something, she considered too abominable to conceal. So, and I said, what was it? And she said that while in Auchi, that Apostle Johnson Suleman, lodged her in Uyi Grand Hotel. Many of you know Uyi Grand Hotel, and that he came there and slept with her. And in the moment he said that, the first thing that came to my mind was about my daughter. And immediately I said, where was Michelle? Because that was the name of my daughter. She said to me that Michelle was on the bed, pushed aside, and I asked her a question. I said, you mean you slept with a man, but my daughter on the bed? Then I had to let it go, because there was nobody I could tell, and I could not fight Apostle Johnson Suleman. If I had mentioned it to my family, if I had mentioned it to her family, nobody would believe me. And if I sent her away, the question is, people would want to know what happened. And for the fact that she spoke to me of her own free will, I had to let it go. I forgive her. After about two days thereabout, I told her, I've forgiven you. And that was how we kept on. And the amorous relationship between her and Suleman continued. But one thing I knew was that my wife was hypnotized. This was not the woman I got married to, and I knew for over 11 years. So that was it. And eventually, the situation degenerated and all of that.